can't lie, I've really been addicted to you. All of my attention I've been giving to you. Caught up in my feelings, I got feelings for you. Caught up in my feelings, I got feelings for you. On my mind, I can't lie. On my mind, I can't lie. Pull you down till you dry. Pull you down till you dry. All the time, ease my mind. All the time, ease my mind. I know that you're dangerous, I'm addicted to you. I might rent the Lambo and go drive it like it's stolen. I've been living wild, I'm just going through the motions. Stumbling out the Uber, grab my hand, gave me the notion. Swimming in your water, but it feels just like the ocean. I can't lie, I've really been addicted to you. All of my attention I've been giving to you. Caught up in my feelings, I got feelings for you. Caught up in my feelings, I got feelings for you. On my mind, I can't lie. On my mind, I can't lie. Pull you down till you dry. Pull you down till you dry. All the time, ease my mind. All the time, ease my mind. I know that you're dangerous, I'm addicted to you. I was sipping Moet for 2 years straight to the face. Champagne belly bubble still won't go away. Last year my best man hit a stain with bad face. Now he's got a LB on the water's cold case. I wake up with pain sometime and never go away. Wonder why I balance to my knees.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I want to thank you for joining us for another episode of This, That, and the Third. This is your boy Hook. I'm here with the homie Shannon. Shannon, what's good with you?
Ain't nothing. Everything's love. Everything's love.
Everything's everything, huh?
Yeah.
All right, so today we're going to be diving into one of the most powerful and most controversial words in our culture, the N-word. Who gets to say it? Is it ever okay? What happens when music and identity and history seemingly collide. Now, this episode isn't about shock value, it's more so about understanding. So we're going to explore the origins of the word, how it's used, and the deep emotions that it carries. Now, whether you're here to learn, reflect, or challenge your own views, you're definitely in the right place. Now, Shannon, how important is this combo in your opinion?
I have to be honest, this convo is not as important to me now as it may have been 20 years ago. And I think part of that is just because the word is so overly used that it has lost its power to me, its energy. When we came up with the idea for the show, it didn't resonate with me the same way I think it would have resonated with me 20 years ago when I was in college, doing involved, more experiencing more things for the first time. Now, being a little bit more seasoned, it doesn't hit the same. I don't know how else to say it.
Okay, I got you. No, that's definitely fair, and that's one of the reasons that I really wanted to talk about this, because I get your standpoint. Because I'll be honest, even when I hear the word, even when somebody who isn't Black says it, it's not as offensive to me anymore. You know, obviously I don't want to hear them say it, but if they do say it, I'm not about to be up in arms about it and going off or anything like that. But we're still gonna discuss it though and see exactly what what everyone else thinks. Now, before we get started, I do want to give our guests an opportunity to introduce themselves. Delvon, we're going to start with you. Veronzo, we'll go with you, and then Cheryl. If you guys would just introduce yourselves, tell us a little bit about who you are and why you think this topic is important or not.
Okay. Well, hey, how you doing, everybody? I'm Delvon, also known as DJ Shock to those who know. If you know, you know. I'm an educator, DJ. I work for Amazon sometimes. I do a lot. So I'm around people all the time, and I kind of not as Shannon has said it. It kind of makes sense where I guess sometimes I'm not really interested in the word. I don't say it as much anymore since I'm older now. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this topic.
All right, appreciate you. All right, Bronzo, what you got?
Going on, y'all? I am Veronzo. I'm just a somebody trying to tell everybody about how God made me somebody. Hallelujah. But I'm just here, man. I want to know this, how everyone's thoughts on this. I'm excited for the conversation, and even if the topic itself isn't as imperative anymore, I think anytime that we can get together and have any healthy discourse on what matters to us, that's always good, you know. I got my wife over here, driving and whatnot. Hi, you can say hi. But anyway, but yeah, man. So I'm excited. I am very honored to be here. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to Corey for letting me to take his spot. What's going on, Shannon? It's been a while. But yeah, man. I am very, very, very excited.
Right, good deal. And Cheryl, I know you're driving, and I don't want to distract you or anything, but did you want to say a few words, introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm Cheryl. I'm really I'm retired. I'm a holistic practitioner, and yeah, I don't. I'm interested to hear about what you think about the word. I never really used it, but a lot of people do. Yeah.
All right, sounds good. And I'm definitely one of those people. I'm a habitual user of the word.
I do. I am
It's
too.
it's
Yeah.
it's ingrained in me. I try to stop, but I mean, I'm 49 years old now, and I don't see myself stopping anytime soon. Now I will say that I say it in select company, so obviously I know who to say it around, when to use it, when not to use it. But again, I think it'll be a cool conversation. So we're gonna see what happens, man. And a quick note before we start, for the viewers, this episode, it may include strong language and discussions about race, possibly trauma and identity. So listener discretion is advised. All right. So without further ado, man, we're gonna go ahead and get into it. And I think most of you already answered the first question, but I'll ask anyway. Is there anyone besides myself who's a habitual user of the word?
Well, I would say
I told you.
I won't say habitual. I use it, but not habitual. That is as much as previous, my previous year.
I'm habitual and I don't discriminate. It don't matter if you Chinese, Asian, Italian. It don't matter. It don't matter.
Yeah, same. I don't think there's a day that goes by we don't say it, and it applies when we say it. It can apply to everybody. So yeah.
And my tone and inflection makes it mean something different every time I say it.
Yeah. I mean, the word's so ambiguous, man. Like it depends on who I'm talking to or how I feel. It can be a good thing. It can be a bad thing. It can be a meh thing. You know what I mean? So it really all depends. And like Shannon said, it's the inflection. And when somebody says it to you, and based on the inflection they use, what they're trying to say and what they mean. But I want to ask y'all, right? So obviously, we being a part of the Black community, we've either said it or we know people that use it often, right? So do you guys think it's ever okay for non-Black people to say it, whether it's in any context, whether it be music, whether they're just quoting somebody, if it's comedy? Do you ever think it's okay for any non-Black person to use it, and why or why not?
What's up, Veronzo? You shaking your head? Don't shake your
Yeah,
head off.
let me go ahead. No. It's not okay for any non-black person to use it. One, we didn't ask for it, clear, but we own it now, so you can't use it. Just like if you're not black, you can't come to the cookout. So I don't know I kept seeing posts about people inviting, like there are no more invitations given out. And if you happen to be married to a black person, you might be considered for an invitation. But even then, there are certain rules and privileges you won't have at said cookout. Saying
You can't
niggas
get the space table.
listen, saying? Niggas gonna be one of those privileges you just don't have. And I think the word represents a lot. And I know we're all probably desensitized to it, like whether you're black or white or whatever, but it still means something. Like, we didn't ask for it. You meant it as a derogatory, dehumanizing thing. We repurposed it. It's ours. And unless you have the same story as us and you are us, you can't use it. You should not use it. They're gonna do whatever they want to do. But no, I don't. I think it is absolutely cultural appropriation if you use it and you're not black. And I get maybe there's some words that we use that they might feel that way, but that ain't the topic right now. So it's not the topic right now. No. And if somebody has given you a pass, grace to use it freely, I think we should deduct some points off their black card respectfully. You know.
What does it matter? A or ER? Does it matter?
Oh no. Now, of course, the ER matters. No one. I don't. That's barely ever coming out of my mouth. I'm just being, joking. But no one should ever.
Someone else says it. If someone else says it with the A or with the ER.
Oh yeah, no. That's because most times when you hear the ER, you want to send somebody to the ER when they consider direction at you. I've had a couple really hard R instances in my life that are really bad. I'm like, I want to get to heaven, so I can't put my hands around nobody's throat like I wanted to. But no one should say. And it's you're dense. You're dense if you think you can say it, knowing history in America. And if you don't know, you should go get educated, and then hopefully it'll appeal to your better nature, and you won't infringe on those boundaries that have been set.
Yeah. And what about you, Devon?
When how can I say this nicely? I'm an asshole. So if it's said to me, I probably would respond as an asshole. I mean, I use my education and really just make that person feel just as worse as they calling it to me. I don't want to be around people who's saying that. Of course, we may live around people who act like that, but at the end of the day, no one other than us should be uttering words like that. Especially if you don't know the context of it, you just don't know what you're saying. And of course, we need to be stopping you from saying that if it is said. Like Veronto says, somebody going to the ER saying the ER, that's a no-no, man.
I heard that one now. That's a good one.
And especially, with me, like, spinning records in the club. I mean, I'm looking at who's saying it, especially if they're not the melon that we have. I say on the mic, quick, hey, this next part coming up, you can't say that.
Does anybody around them react when they do it?
I remember a few times in some places here where,
yeah,
some things got a little heated. Some things got very bad. But that person should have known anyway. Hey, you know where you at. Why would you even do that?
Right. Now, a couple things that y'all said, right? Someone mentioned even if, I think Baranzo did, even if someone invites you to say it, you still have to be mindful about who you say it around. Because just because one person gave you the okay, they don't speak for the entire black delegation, obviously.
I think that's a setup.
Yeah, right. And not just that, but I think that's also part of the problem is because he was jokingly saying it, but black people, for whatever reason now, we want to invite everybody to the cookout. We want everybody to be a part of the culture for whatever reason, right? So I think that we have a duty to stop inviting people to do shit that only black people can really do. You know what I'm saying? I don't like categorizing my friends. I don't say this is my white friend, this is my Hispanic friend, because my friends are my friends. But they know how strongly I feel about my culture. And now I don't know what they do when they're not around me,
Hmm.
so that when they are around me, they respect that and they know what to say and what not to say. So no matter how cool we are, how close we are, how much I love them, they know that there's certain things that they can't say the same way I'm not gonna say, even though it may not carry the same type of meaning. Like I'm not gonna say cracker around them. I'm not gonna. I never call anybody a cracker simply because it's to me it's a derogatory term, not quite the derogatory is derogatory as the N word, but I'm not gonna just openly say that at all. Veronzo also mentioned, we reclaim the word now. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
It was
Mm-hmm.
okay back in the day, like 20 or so years ago. You say the N word to any of us, we ready to fight. Like we ready to do whatever. But now, when they say it, it's like, all right, you got to find a new word now. It doesn't even carry as much weight. And I
Hmm.
honestly think that bothers a lot of quote unquote racists to whoever, because now they don't have a
Absolutely
word
do.
to really, set us off like that. So if you say it, okay, yeah, cool, that's fine. It doesn't bother me the same way it did 20 years ago. To Shannon's point.
Yeah, I
Yeah, I
want to know
believe.
how you're
Oh,
treating
go
me,
ahead.
what you're doing to me, not what you might say to me, right? I need to know what you aren't saying to me. That's what I'm more worried about. The word just don't mean the same thing to me anymore.
Facts.
I think it's just purely ignorance, and I think those of us who are now of a certain age now, we just look at that ignorance and just say, well, you're stupid, and I'm gonna just leave this conversation instead of just,
Hmm.
like we have more to lose now
Hmm.
than we did 20 years ago. Just over a word. I mean, like we sitting in jail, like, man, I gotta go to work.
Yeah,
Nah,
your reaction.
my boss is gonna trip out because I ain't at work. Like we got a lot to lose.
Now, do you guys think? Because we all mentioned reclaiming the word, right? So do you think that reclaiming the word, you know, empowers the black community, or does it risk normalizing the word? You know what I mean? So if we say it openly, like it's in all the lyrics, all the songs, we and people know what YN means now. You know what I mean? So even I think the world collectively knows that. So when we say YN, they know what we're referring to. So do you think those monikers or those things kind of normalize it, or do you still think that regardless of how frequently we use it or what I guess what context we use it in, it should still be off limits.
I think
I
it's no. Go ahead,
Go ahead, Jen.
Veronza.
No,
I was just say I think it's normalized already, and I think us trying to still fight it. We need to pick a struggle that really advances our community, and this word is no longer it.
yeah, I agree. And but to your question, I think it's both. Like there are times where it does feel empowerment when someone's like mine, and it's like it feels good, like it makes you smile, but also it does because it's been overused now. Like it's normalized. There are people who are in other cultures making rap songs and just and folk who may have grown up around a whole bunch of black people and raised in the same way they were raised, and they just because they've been allowed to for so long, they don't see a problem with it. I'm way less reactive when it's not the ER anyway. Because I'm like I get don't like it, but I also understand that like folk had just have had a different upbringing, and like by and large, you can tell when someone's really being like derogatory. It's cringy either way, but it's like you're being disrespectful now, like for real.
Mhm.
So I think it is. I think it's more just normalizing than it is empowering, of course, at this point. But it still feel good sometimes, depending on the sentence. But if we never said it again, the black community wouldn't change. If no one ever said the word ever again, starting today, nothing would change. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
we would just find a different word to put there, which speaks to it being normalized and a bit like watered down. You know what I mean? That don't mean anybody can say it still.
Mm.
I agree. And what do you say, Delvon? Do you think that reclaiming the word empowers the black community, or do you think it kind of normalizes things?
Well, it can be both. It's definitely normalized. Um, like I work in a school, and like you hear the word from kids who aren't of our color, so it's already normalized, and the kids of our color are like, oh, it's cool, it's whatever. So it's already normalized. It's awfully cringy, and especially when how, like, say for instance, I carry myself not in that image, but if someone calls you that, like, how my reaction is kind of give or take sometimes. So I mean, we shouldn't say it, but people are gonna say it anyway because of its context, of its meaning. um Whoever the person is, I mean, like, it's gonna be both, no matter what we say, no matter what we do.
Yeah. And I guess for me, right, one of the reasons this conversation even came about, a couple weeks ago, I made well, about a week ago actually, after Hulk Hogan died, I made a Facebook post, and basically I saw a bunch of us, saying rest in peace Hulk Hogan, whatever. He was a great wrestler, whatever. But after he said what he said, what I mean, that made me look at Hulk Hogan a different way. So when he passed away, I was like, okay, well, what am I having for dinner? You know what I mean? So it really did.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And one of my well, a former coworker got him in the post, and he's like, "You demonizing Hulk Hogan, but you probably say it daily." I'm like, "Yeah, I do." And he was like, "And that makes it okay." I'm like, "You damn right it does." Like, you know what I mean? Because I feel that I'm black, I can say it and do whatever. But obviously, we are. The way I see it, if a non-black person says it, that tells me everything that I need to know about them. You know what I mean? Because the historical context of the word, and you know that when you say it, it carries a different type of meaning that if a black person says it. So if you say it, you know what I mean, I'm not gonna like get mad at you, I'm not gonna want to fight you, but I'm gonna put you in a bucket, and I know exactly who you are now, and that's kind of the way I see it, though.
I think context matters though, because we said earlier that we are a little bit more desensitized. So when we hear it, we don't want to hear it, but when we hear it, we don't react to it.
Mm-hmm.
But if I bet you any amount of money, if Hulk Hogan was alive and standing next to you and said what he said in the manner that he said it, it wouldn't be something you would just be like, oh, I heard him, but oh well. You would react to that. Because I think it's the context and
Right, because
the
he
reason behind why he said it. Like what he said was completely racist. It was meant to be racist. It was meant to degrade that young man. It was meant to be offensive. And I think that matters in this conversation, because the word is so proliferated through our culture, through our music. However, it happened, and we're here, and it's just the truth. Like you said, you got young children saying it. You know, everybody know what a YN is. It's normalized. So, but however, how people use it matters to me. I think it's extremely important. What do you mean
yeah.
behind that?
Yeah, I was about to say like Hulk Hogan. he was doing the ER, wanting to go to the ER, and just because you a six
Mm-mm.
five plus 200 whatever plus man, you think that you're untouchable. And I think people never run out of the audacity. Like there's just an supply of the audacity. But I also
Mm-hmm.
do. For me, I don't cancel a person because they made a racist comment.
Mm-hmm.
I can't for me because I have heard so much worse from like my peers. So much worse. Like Shock, you're a DJ. You know people dance to songs that they don't really. like lyrics don't matter anymore. But I'm like, y'all should read some of them. Like there are people are we still glorify literal murder and death. Like people still glorify selling crack to the like you know what crack did to us, to the black community. And but it's like it's a celebration to some. It's like I used to like I'm like that's to me way more detrimental than Hulk than Hulk Hogan saying the hard R word. Now granted, people forget that like you know that there's a time and place for everything. But also, I think what's in you is going to come out one way
Mm-hmm.
or the other. And so when it comes out, you choose how you respond. You did this thing, and you are racist. I don't know. I didn't read that he. I think he said sorry, whatever. But like for me, sorry is one thing. You have to repent for being a racist. Like I can yawn and hit my wife in the face. I'm sorry. But if I'm an abuser, I have a heart problem. Hulk Hogan had a heart issue, clearly. Because it wasn't just a one time spray
Mm-hmm.
painting the thing. It was he had a few of them. So I'm like, I don't have to support anything you do anymore. But for me, I don't just erase like because when I was a kid, Hogan, I had toys. I had a toy box, and Hulk Hogan inspired me to be great because you've done some stupid, evil, racist thing. You did still inspire me, but going forward, I will move differently. But I was sad. I was sad when he died. I was sadder seeing all the stuff surrounding it. Folk were like are still going in, like just having a war in the comment section and like, oh, y'all just on whatever, whatever, or whatever side you're on. I'm like, a man died. I don't celebrate someone dying because they were or are racist. I don't do that. And I think that speaks to how we've made this word so watered down, so whatever. You know why kids say it? You know why children and our babies are saying it? Because somebody allowed somebody like Sexy Red to perform at their school.
Now the school.
Like somebody allowed that to happen. They say it because we glorify things that should be detrimental to our community.
Yeah.
And it's a one big pie now. So I mean, if you're gonna say it and you're not black, be ye careful who you say it around. But also I think teach your kids, if it's a problem, teach them the history of the word and why you're saying it, because no child should just be saying it just because mommy and daddy say it or because their favorite song says it. I think we have a service to our children. You know what I mean? A
Yeah.
duty to our children.
Now, Baronzo, I say this. Um, Kids say it because it's the most powerful word I think in the English language. It's striking. It's provocative. Like some kids just say it to get attention. Some kids just say it because look at me. You know. So with the kids thinking of it that way, the racists think the same way. That word is powerful. It's gonna get you to react. It's gonna help you project to me what I believe you are. So it's way more than normalized. That word is so powerful. I mean, we're having this discussion over it. So
Yeah.
um y'all heard about the situation up in Greenville where the kids were fighting the kid that
No.
said the word? Yeah, it's a big investigation going on up in I think the school is Daniel High School.
What happened?
They- so the kids were at a FCS camp, Fellowship of Christian Sport. Well,
Athletes.
it's a Christian football camp.
Mm-hmm.
And a kid who's not of us said the word and they lit into him. And it's a real big investigation. I think the coach is like, he's not fired, but he's like been let go, like paid administrative leave. all over this word. I mean, this word is powerful, and it gets people to react in ways that are unspeakable.
But see,
You know?
they left that part out because I heard about the story. Because it happened, I believe it was at, I want to say Presbyterian College or they
Yeah.
somewhere for a Fellowship of Christian Athletes camp, and I saw the video, and he was the black kid was punching the white kid. I mean, I didn't. People online were saying it was like some type. I guess I don't know what sports team they're on, but saying it was some type
Football.
initiation or hazing or something like that. But I didn't hear anything about it being because they use that word. So I don't know.
Yeah, I think you know how like there are some people we should have never made famous. there's, I think there's
I,
we really should have never made this famous for real. But I mean, it, like, is what it is. But at the same time, it's like when you took a people and ripped their past from them, we were forced to create. You okay? Oh, we were forced to create black culture because what do you do when you put everybody in the bottle in the box? We gonna have conversation. We're so like we there is a point I think when like we were just grasping for straws for identity, and it's like we part of it of why the word is so prevalent is because it's one of the things that we just decided that we're gonna take from y'all and make it good. This wasn't like a, devil meant for evil, God meant for what devil meant for evil. We just took, made it good, and then it's just gonna be good forever. But at the same time, there's consequence. Like he say it in an ER way. He say that's my good job. Like like how did he say it? We don't know because for a child to react like that is also a problem, a big problem. Like maybe he don't know. And if y'all say all the time and no one's ever checked him, he got checked that day, obviously. But there's still a way, and I think that unfortunately, maybe at some point, not in our lifetime, it'll either be just gone or everyone's going to say it will just get less and less reactive to it. I'm talking about the GA, not the ER, because that's always going to be
it's always going to
respectfully.
be a fight with
It's
the
Yeah,
ER.
like reaping
Yeah.
and sowing. God wrote into the cosmos. That's for everybody. That scripture is rated E for everybody. So
Yeah.
if you say something, you depending on I pray you have wisdom, but you might get beat up. And I mean, people still
Just
fight.
say you
I
got
know I
your tongue
know
tied.
where yeah, I like but Corey said one time people have been online so long they forgot. Folks said we'll beat you up.
yeah,
you know?
thanks.
But I think that I think we have to be better um at how we say it, where we say it too, but also kind of accepting the struggle about it will never go away, probably not
Mhm.
in our lifetime. The jumping of people who say it, the people spray painted on the wall talking about their daughter's boyfriend. It's America is racist, and they're going to be. America's going to be it's going to be racist. You know.
You know, I think that we were talking backstage earlier, and one thing I said was everybody want to be black until it's time to be black, right? And what we've done is we've made like we've done what we've done historically, right? They gave us the worst part of everything, and we made the shit cool, right? They gave us the worst parts of the animal, right? We turned
Mhm.
that into southern delicacies. You know what I
Yes.
mean? And so like every Thanksgiving, really every Sunday, that same bad part of the animal that they gave us is on somebody's plate, right? Chitlins and neck bones and all
Oxtail.
these other things, oxtails, right? So they gave that to us thinking, oh, we're gonna give them the worst parts. We turned it into a delicacy, right? Same thing with this word. They meant it to be derogatory. We made the shit cool. You know what I mean? So now when we say it,
Mhm.
even whether it's in a rap song or when we greet each other, hey, what's up, nigga? Whatever. It's the shit sound cool. You know what I'm saying? And then they're like, wow, I want to say it now. You know what I mean? So now because they feel that way, now they want to make a big deal about, they're saying that because it's all out there, everybody should be allowed to say it, or it really shouldn't be that much vitriol. But again, I don't. I've become desensitized to it, so I'm not gonna act the way I would act 20, 25 years ago. I won't like it, but I'm not gonna just go off on it. You know what I mean? Go off on a tangent about it. But like I said earlier, it tells me all about everything I need to know about you when you do say it and you're not black. That's kind of how I feel. And going back to this whole Hulk Hogan thing, I didn't celebrate him dying, but I wasn't sad at all. Like I was indifferent. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, he died. Okay,
Yeah.
well, and I too was a fan of his, growing up or whatever. And I didn't cancel him per se. I just put him in the box. I knew, all right, this is where you are now. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna celebrate you dying or something bad. I'm not gonna celebrate that.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna wish any harm to you. But now when I see you, you hold a conversation with me. In the back of my head, all I'm thinking is nigga, 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 nigga,
Put
nigga.
the ER on it.
Right,
ER
yeah,
on
nigga,
it.
nigga, right. You know what I mean? So, but it is one of
Oh,
those things, and this is your statement, Veronzo, is a perfect segue into what I wanted to ask next, right? So, like, how do we teach the younger generation to understand the power and history of the word, though? Because it seems like a lot of the younger generation, like you said, the kid that got beat up at the camp, that wasn't his first. If you said it, that wasn't his first time saying it. So somebody somewhere made him comfortable enough to say it, and then he just said it around the wrong person. So
Mm-hmm.
how do we? And even the younger generation, like even I've spoken to some of them sometimes, and they're like, I don't care if people say it or not. It's just a word, and I don't think they really understand the historical context. So to everybody on the panel, like, how do we teach the next generation to understand the power and the history of the word itself?
Well, I think a lot of us have to teach ourselves the history of the word, so that
Yeah,
way
definitely.
we will be allowed to teach it to the
Mm-hmm.
Facts.
youth. There's a lot of adults walking around here that don't nothing about the only thing they know about is the drama, the tea, Love Island. That's all they know. They don't they don't read a book. They don't no definitions and stuff. It's like like some of us as adults got to teach other adults about the history of certain stuff. So now we can all come together at the table and sit down and teach these kids, how great kings and queens they are. Because, I mean, just using this word, I mean, I'm tired of
We tired of talking about it. We tired of it. It is what it is.
What
yeah.
about
I
you, Veron?
I no, I agree. Like, teach kid the power of words. Period. Like, the Bible says that death and life are the power of the tongue, and whether you're a believer or not, it's a very relevant scripture. And I think what we've forgotten, besides what Shock said, that like words can kill. Like, that six and stone statement is not that's not true. Wars have started because of words.
Facts.
And that word means, it has a definition, but deeper than that, there is a rich, very bloody, very long history. Like, nigga has been bought with a big price. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And I love how you said, like, we took their lemons and made lemonade, lemon pie, lemon meringue pie. We made a lemon business. We made a song called Lemon. Beyonce made Lemonade. And, like, we repurposed everything. But we have to be careful, because after we were assimilated into society, because we weren't segregated. Another conversation. We have to be careful, though, because
it.
there's still a level of dignity that I think we should still carry about us. Like, we are still the most forgiving people
Mm-hmm.
in this country. We are the most loving.
Yes,
Our
we are.
arms are open. Our doors are open. Still, with all that's going on, with all of the extra slice of racism for whatever reason we have right
Mm-hmm.
now, still, and I think that's good and all, but there is a way to show someone how you prefer to be respected
Hmm.
and loved properly. Unfortunately, jumping them because they said the N word is not it. And I
No.
think on one hand, maybe that because that young man may have not, he may have learned nothing when he got fist fist to face. But also, like it's just it's unfortunate how just reactive we are, and I think Shock hit it on the head. Like if we remind ourselves of history and knew history and read a book or five, like we like something would just be less because we just know it really just is what it is. Like it's gonna happen. It's gonna keep happening until the day we leave this earth. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen again. Like when like it and it happens. It's so random when I see like a post about some CEO or some celebrity get caught. He done said the N word. He was drunk or whatever. And I'm just like, y'all will never learn because unfortunately violence will not teach a heart how to not be evil, no matter how much violence we think we can do. It's never going to work, you know.
Yeah, and I believe in killing people with kindness. And the reason I won't get upset, you can say it as much as you want, as long as you don't put your hands on me, we good. You know what I mean? So I'm not gonna react or give you because you want. If you say it, I think they want the reaction, right? And I'm not gonna give you what you want. That's why I'm not gonna react. I mean, whether I like it or not, I'm not gonna make it that much. I'm not gonna make it known that I don't like it, right? And also to your point, and I tell my girls this all the time. You teach people how to treat you. You know what I mean? So same thing with the word. Like if you allow people to say it around you and allow them to get away with it, they're going to continue. But there's nothing wrong with taking them and saying, "Hey, please don't use it around me." You can be nice, nasty with it, up polite or whatever. But you
Mhm.
know what I mean. But and again, you can take 10 black people, somebody non-black can say it to them, and it may be different. You may get different reactions from those 10 people. So it kind of it truly really all depends. And to Shock's point, I agree with you. The adults nowadays are just as bad as the kids. Back in my day when I was coming up, my mama wasn't outside. She was on the inside. If it's the only
I'm
time
outside.
I went outside was to go to work
We outside.
and go back home, right? So my mom, so it's like nowadays it's like, and I understand that we have a lot more in common with our kids nowadays than our parents did. We like the same music, we like a lot of the same things, right? But at the end of the day, you have to be the adult, you have to be the parent. You got to know where to draw the line. Like, okay, yeah, we cool. I'll be the listen. My girls will tell you I'm the cool dad all day long. But if they say the first thing to get out the way, then I get a backhand real quick. You know what I mean? So you just have to you
Hmm.
got to really show them, or not just show them, but really teach them, how to really conduct themselves. And Shannon, what about you? Like, what do you think about teaching the next generation to understand where that word comes from and the power and the history of it?
I mean, I think it's definitely a thing, but I think we keep waiting on our schools to teach our children about our history and about who we are. Like one of the things I always make sure I did with my kids is we lived in a neighborhood where they went to PWI, but I kept them involved in cultural activities. So no matter where they were, they still were getting their culture,
Right.
so that some of these lessons wouldn't be for naught. They wouldn't be lost on them. So I just think no matter where you live, you have to make sure your children are connected with the culture. Um, and not just listening to rap music, but actually learning about people who helped trailblaze our community, who gave to us by giving their lives to our community. We have to make sure those lessons are taught to our children, even if it's not in school. It has to be taught in the home.
Yeah, I agree.
Shoot, I'll say this real quick. You talking about teaching people how to treat you or whatever. Even in the dating world, like if a
Oh
woman
no.
comes up to me and say, "Hey, nigga," or they come to me and say, "Hey, where the niggas at?" I turn and walk the other way. Like, nah, shot, we ain't doing that.
Right.
That's what they doing out there.
Yo, hey, they want to know where the niggas at. I'm like, sure, I'm not a nigga, man. I'm a black man. Thank you very much. Like, we really got to teach people how to treat us, and that's one way.
Absolutely,
And what
absolutely.
clubs you be in where they be asking where the niggas at?
All of them. He DJ.
All of
All of
all of shoot, they even ask on social media. Shoot.
Not
oh
not
Lord.
who be asking though?
I'm responding. The chicks.
Right, the chicks. Now, what race are these chicks?
Oh, they
Okay.
black.
We just
I
want to
got
make sure we have to go back and find nobody.
Now that would be a day on social media if
Oh
ask that
Lord.
question. That would be a day.
I know, right? Now, but
Somebody
this
mad about some chicken. They be
I
mad.
know facts. And this has been a great conversation, and I really appreciate you guys for chiming in and getting your thoughts. But before we peel out, I do want to get I want you guys to leave. What do you want? I want you guys to give one statement or one thing about what you want to leave the viewers with. Like, what do you want some takeaways from this conversation to be? And Veronzo, we'll start with you, sir.
Um, if you're not black, um, just respect the culture and people enough to just not put yourself or anyone else in a situation. You know, overall, if you lack wisdom, ask God for it. That's kind of the biggest thing. And then for our people, let's get back to reading. Let's get back to teaching and leading the youth in a way that reflects our good character, our dignity and pride as a culture, and not just allow them to do anything. Because whatever door we leave open, they're just gonna get all of it. And I want everybody to respectfully, well, with respect to whatever you believe in, to try Jesus. Really, the world is crazy, so Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. God bless.
And you cannot go wrong with that. I promise you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Delvon, what you got, brother?
I want to say this: words are powerful. Words are powerful, and when they're said with intention, just like Veronzo said a little while ago, it can start a war. So always learn something new every day. Read a book, pray, just try to become just try to become a better person every day you're allowed to wake up. Every day you're allowed to breathe. Like, become better. Once you become better, then you'll be able to teach someone the ways of being better, and then they can be better. And then all of a sudden we have a generation of people who are better. So yeah, words are powerful, and always think before you speak. And that's what I got.
All right, good stuff. All right, Shannon, what you got, sis?
Honestly, I just think the word has just become trite. We use it so much. We allow the use of it so much that it doesn't hold the same weight. And I think there are other things that we can agree on that promote the Black community much more than fighting about the use of this word. Even though we all respect its history, we respect where it came from. But like Hook was saying, we done took something that somebody meant for evil and took it back and made it something meant for good for us that is powerful in a different way now. So I think all that matters. And then the context of how people say it to you also matters, even if it's a person not outside of our race. I think all of that matters, and we need to be mindful of that.
Absolutely. And the only thing I'll say is that I think that we, as the Black community, we have far more pressing issues that need to be addressed. Long-term things that are going to affect our kids, grandkids, and our great-grandkids. So I think we need to channel whatever aggression and whatever passion we have towards those things and truly bettering the community and making it so that those who follow us, they're going to be okay. Because we're getting older now, so our time is, it's our time now, but our time, we don't have, we're not in our prime anymore, right? So do think it's time that we got ourselves together and really focus that energy on bettering the next generation ahead. And again, I appreciate you guys for joining us. This was a great conversation. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Now, whether you agreed, disagreed, or just needed time to think, we hope this episode sparked something real for you. Words carry weight. Now, how we use them, choose not to, it really says a lot about the kind of society we're truly trying to build. If today's episode made you think, share it with someone and keep the conversation going, man. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so drop us a message or a comment, share the post. We'd love to get the message out there. You can do so on Facebook or YouTube. So again, thanks for joining. Veronzo, Shock, Shannon, as always, you know how we do. We appreciate you guys for coming on. So until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and stay respectful. And keep asking the tough questions. We'll see you next time.
I don't know what Joe talking about.
All right, Joe.